Kamala Harris speaks to the American people like they're children. We should not promote Kamala Harris. We should say to Kamala Harris, you are fired. What we need is the kind of leader who can take an assassination attempt, get back up, and go back to work for the American people. That is courage under fire. Do you want a person who hides from the friendly American media, or do you want a person who takes a bullet to the head and stands up and says, fight, fight, fight? I think I know my answer. Now, I am so grateful to all of you, grateful for coming out, grateful for all the work that you've been doing on behalf of our campaign, grateful for getting your neighbors out to the polls, because we need to get every single person, everybody that we can, out to vote in November. I have a dear colleague of mine who says that we need every single person in this room to vote 10 times. Kamala Harris had been the presumptive nominee for about a month, and she had done 0 media interviews. 0 interviews with the press, 0 questions asked and answered, 0 opportunities for her to take advantage of to actually talk to the American people. And what kind of person wants to be the President of the United States but is too afraid of friendly American media? That is a disgrace. And we should not promote Kamala Harris. We should say to Kamala Harris, you are fired. If you're too afraid of the American media, you can't be the President of the United States. Now, it's funny, though, not a whole lot's changed. You know, Kamala Harris has gone from giving, I think, 0 interviews to maybe 2 interviews. And my favorite thing about Kamala Harris's interviews is I think that we win about 100,000 votes every time she answers a question. Because, you know, the difference, there are all these differences, all these policy differences, all these things that I could point to, but you know the biggest difference, I think, between President Trump's campaign and Kamala Harris's campaign? It's that Kamala Harris speaks to the American people like they're children, and we speak to the American people like they're fellow citizens who deserve our vote and deserve our respect. On day 1, remember, Kamala Harris said they were going to go to war with American energy. They were going to explicitly raise America's energy prices because she wanted us to go green. Now, never mind the fact that a lot of the green energy she wants us to buy is from solar panels manufactured in China. Never mind the fact that the electric vehicles that she wants us to drive are from EVs made in China. She promised higher energy prices, and that's exactly what she delivered. Now, my American dream was not to write a best-selling book. It wasn't to start a business. It wasn't even to run for vice president, as awesome as it is. My American dream was to be a good husband and to be a good father, to give my children the things that I didn't have when I was growing up. Now, it would have been impossible without the great bounty and incredible kindness of this country, from public school teachers who took care of me to the incredible opportunities of the United States Marine Corps, and Semper Fi to all the Marines out there. But it very much would have been impossible without the love and the support of a very, very strong woman, my grandmother, who took care of me when my mom couldn't take care of me. God bless you, ma'am. What we need is the kind of leader who can take an assassination attempt, get back up, and go back to work for the American people. That is courage under fire, and it's sorely missing at the White House. Because, you know, you never, look, there are disagreements that we're going to have, even in this room, on public policy. There are things that I'm going to say, or things even that President Trump says you may not agree with every single thing. But what you do know with Donald Trump is, first of all, you get exactly what you see. This is not a person who filters himself and hides behind slogans like Kamala Harris. He is exactly who he is, and he's damn proud of it. The other thing with President Trump is you get somebody who is competent and shows courage under fire. Because every president eventually gets that famous 2 a.m., 3 a.m. phone call. And who do you want answering the phone? Do you want a person who hides from the friendly American media, or do you want a person who takes a bullet to the head and stands up and says, fight, fight, fight? I think I know my answer. What I wish that I could do is give every single one of you the perspective that I've gotten over this beautiful country over the last seven weeks. Because you fly into places like Eau Claire, and we were in Grand Rapids earlier today, and trust me, as a Buckeye, it's hard to compliment the state of Michigan, but it is a beautiful state. It really is one of the most beautiful states in the union. But you go to Arizona and you see these beautiful, beautiful deserts and natural landmarks. You go into Nevada, you go into Pennsylvania, the mountains of central Pennsylvania, and every single day, I cannot help but think, my God, this is a beautiful, beautiful country. It really is. And I think the one thing that we ought to do and one thing we have to do over the next 7 weeks is remind the American people that, yes, this is a beautiful country. We've got the best workers. We've got the best cultural and historical traditions. We have got every single bounty that God could possibly give a nation, including natural resources that the Chinese and the Russians, they would love to have. The only thing that's broken about this country is the failed leadership of Kamala Harris. Let's send her back to San Francisco and give the country a president it deserves. God bless you all. Thank you for having me.